we have today, last but not least, in this Build-A-Figure set at least, because then there's still the other two after the Build-A-Figure. This is Marvel's Spymaster. And let me just say, this appears to be like the Blizzard body sculpt. Even has the shins that move there, and I don't know. And then again, he's got the same gun we just talked about right here with crossbones, that Jan Rog looking one. It's like that laser, but nonetheless, let's get them open. We have not even mirror image, the same picture right here on the side and the same picture on the back. So again, we have the same picture 4 times. Could have at least given us a different artwork there. And let's see what it says. Marvel's Spymaster, an undercover operative skilled in sabotage. Spymaster possesses superb fighting capabilities. Pop them on out. Let's get them open. And unfortunately, not one of my favorite body sculpts. And single accessory, and not even a great one. So here we are. We have this other leg for our Crimson Dynamo, and that will complete our set. Bust him on out of here. Let's get that gun, the little pea shooter on out of there. Let's see what's going on here. Let's set that aside. And let's zoom on in here. So, Spymaster. There's his symbol right here. So we even got some paint bleeding. And right here, looks a little rushed. Not even a clean line. Almost looks like a crayon line. As far as the head, the paint job on the head and the symbol right there looks okay. There's a scratch right here, unfortunately. Let's see. For head articulation and movement, we definitely got strong mobility there. We can turn it, we can pivot a little bit, all the way down, all the way back. That's great. We got this really strong ab crunch. Interesting, that gap. All the way forward, look at that. Arms move all the way around. Check that out. They do move beyond 90-degree angle out. Move in the high part of the bicep. The elbow does move into almost a 45-degree angle, it would appear. And then just about mirror image on those. The wrists do go back and forth. I prefer it like that. We can put the gun in either one of the hands. We do have a holster right here, this lemon yellow holster. We have this gun, which I told you appears to be, look, this same gun but a different flavor. Look at that. We have gray, which is, I guess, mint, and cherry flavor. Now let's put that back right here on crossbones. And just to be honest, this is my least favorite of all the molds of guns. So that can go right here in his holster, which we'll take it out in a minute. So we have, these hands were really wide open to hold guns. This one's right here at the waist. Got a ridiculously strong ab crunch. This is a floating utility belt. You even have the S right here, but it's only red on the front. It kind of bleeds over to the top and the bottom. We have a little bit of paint bleed right here. And then we have this little bit of utility and tactical belt, but it's not a whole lot to it. It's not a strong mold, and it's even kind of pushing out right there. Let's see. The legs do come pretty well forward. They do bend pretty well at the knees right here. Look at that. They bend a whole lot better. Look at that. Than our Black Widow ones and Yelena. The legs do come out straight. It actually feels a little looser now. It does move right here, as I mentioned. The high part of the thigh. I'm sorry, of the shin. We do point and flex pretty well right here on the ankles. And unfortunately, this is not the most amazing action figure. We do have multiple symbols right here. And let's get his gun out. Let's see how well it fits in his hand. Looks like it fits well. And there we are. So let me see something. Let me show you something. Alright, so I wanted to show you that I'm not sure if it's exactly the same sculpt, but it definitely looks very similar to this Human Torch. With this Human Torch, actually, they did, you know, a pretty decent job. There are some, obviously, some striking similarities. Unfortunately, this, look, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to this one, but yeah, it didn't help that I was like, you know what, they did a pretty good job with this because it had all these cool little flares. I like the way this you could see through him, and the texture and the head sculpt. Like, this is probably the best I've ever seen with this body sculpt, but it didn't help that it fell apart. So and this one looks a little uninspired to begin with. At least that one had really cool, like, the plastic happening going on. So all right, let's get him in a pose and let's move on to Crimson Dynamo. What do you say? So what's the best pose I can get out of this blue and yellow figure? Let's see. Give me a second. Alright, so we'll just have him like with a quick little on-the-go stance. Set him up over here next to Crossbones, and we'll call it a day for him. Look at that. Okay, cool. Look at that. So far, these four obviously are my favorite. They look amazing for the movie. And then we start to drop off one by one here till it's like pretty good. Alright. Alright, so let's move on to our absolute last action figure from this Build-A-Figure set. And then who knows, the last two after that, the special exclusives. So what do you say to that? Alright.